Hello, hello, Scorpio. How you doing today? Just getting set up here. It's a little warm back in my little room here. Just trying to get my setup. How you guys doing today? And get a little refreshments, a little cold water. It's hot, so I wet down my bangs and everything. It's really warm, hitting triple digits here in Oregon. I don't know where you're at, but I'm sure it's got all its kind of weather issues. I'm Patty, and I'm an empath and intuitive tarot reader, but I also do intuitive coaching, so I can actually not use the cards, use the cards. Here we use the cards. So if you're new, thank you for trying out my page, and hope you enjoy and get something out of it and also have some fun with it. I will actually be doing some things a little bit differently, and I'll share that here in a minute. Because I'm going to start doing some timestamps. So I'm told that everybody likes to have timestamps, and so I'm going to do that. And I'm a new channel, so I'm learning to grow some subscribers, and so I appreciate any feedback or comments that you put. I'll always listen to them. So first off, I want to thank those that are new and the first time. And if you look on the bottom here, you'll see some new stuff and things that you might want will helpful to you. You'll see on the very bottom, Get Balanced 2020. That's my other website and YouTube page where we put mind, spirit, and body together and teach how to get balanced in a lifestyle, because it takes all three elements to get balanced. So that's what that is on the bottom. So for those of you that are returning and have subscribed, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Hopefully you hit the bell once you subscribed, and that way you can get notifications. All right. So again, for those that are brand new, I'm not going to go into how I do my readings, because I do pull everything from the divine, and I do get messages and all kinds of stuff. So on the about part of my channel, if you go there, you can see a little, I think it's 3-4 minutes on how I do my readings, and that will give you some little explanation. So for that. So I'm going to go straight to the news. So for those of you that are returning, I appreciate it. And for those of you that are brand new, this will be a little part in the very beginning where I timestamp some news, up-to-date news, or something new that's coming up. And that is new. And I'm going to be doing that right at the beginning. I'm going to be timestamping the new, the reading, the recap, and yes, we now have question and answer session at the very end. So if you have questions, you can ask. And somebody asked me, well, can I come in another sign and ask a question? Yeah, that's not a problem. I would prefer that, you stay with your sign, just because I'm doing these live now. That's another new thing for you. I'm doing all my readings live, because that's the way the divine works. It's a now situation, now vibration and energy. So I want to keep that alive. So, and then the last thing is, if you notice on there, there is a donation button. If you want to donate, you would just go to the home page, and there's a little PayPal icon on there to donate. Everything on the donation goes to helping me produce this channel. So I have a lot to learn, and I need to get some software and things like that. So all your donations go towards that. And then once I get all that, then we'll see where I can, and if donations come in, I like to give to charity. So, but right now it's just to get this produced and going. So that's new. So with that said, that's pretty much all the new news that I have. And then we're just going to go into the reading. For those of you that are new, I pull the oracle for the vibrations and the energy for that week, and then we go from there. And the rest you can actually watch the YouTube on how I do it. All right. So let's get started, Scorpio. So we're actually looking at the week of the 3rd through the 9th of August. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. And if you guys have me on a screen where you've got me all blown up, excuse me, I'm sweating. I am sweaty. It's hot in here. My daughter finally went to work and I opened up my room for the air conditioning to blow in here. But whew, it's really, really warm in here. So anyway, wow, this card just does not want to stop popping up. It has been a crazy, crazy 2 weeks. And I don't know what's going on. I know that we just had a meteor shower, and we still can see the comet. Was that yesterday? It's pretty far from the Earth now, but you can still barely see it. I got to see it with my binoculars when it was just closest, almost one day closest. But then, unfortunately, the next night was cloudy. I was so excited. I was so excited. Then the clouds, and I was like, seriously? So now I'm really getting enthusiastic about maybe getting a telescope. So, and doing that when we go camping kind of stuff, but even in the backyard. Anyway, so what I've got here so far out, and it doesn't show that there is any more energies for this week. So I think this applies to all of us pretty much, Scorpios or any sign. But for you guys, it's mostly listening this week. Who's listening? Who's not listening? So that's where we go. Whew, I gotta do this for a second. Okay, so let's see where we're going with this. Let me move my stuff over here so I have enough room. So, but I want you to look at this. Okay, so Divine usually tells me something while I'm looking at cards. So if you look at this card, it is about a listening. The elephant looks very calm, very, you know, okay, just relaxing, chilling kind of thing. And that bird is chirping some really beautiful sounds. Okay, so this is a listening that actually needs to stay calm, stay cool, say, you know what, bring in positive energies, not negative energies. So let's see, because that I kept hearing if there's an argument or something going on or something that's the energies are negative that are being carried over from last week, then you probably want to sort of chill back with that a little bit and just go with the flow. Just try to, I don't know if this is you listening to somebody or somebody listening to you, but there's two. There's got to be two because somebody's talking and somebody's listening. Now, there is a difference between hearing and listening. I don't know if you guys know the difference between that, but when you take a bunch of communication courses and psychology courses like I did, you learn that there is active hearing, active listening, and that kind of thing. And so we can either be active listeners or not. And an active listener means that you're really paying attention to that other person, absorbing what they're saying, and maybe reacting or to what they're saying, or maybe not. But at least the information is getting inside and absorbed. Hearing, on the other hand, is, yep, it's if you... Guys do it to girls, girls do it to guys, girls do it to girls, all that kind of time. It's like, yeah, you start talking. It's like, yeah, I, had a really good day today. We went all over, we went downtown, then we went shopping. And the other person's like, mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, okay. And they're not paying attention at all. They are hearing you, but they're not paying attention. Does that make sense? That's not listening. Okay, so let's see what the divine has to say about all this stuff here. Yeah, a lot of communication. Wow. These are great, though. So listening is really important. Out of the chute, we got the 6 of Wands, and we have got the Wheel of Fortune. Trying to notice if there's anything in there. These are 2 really, really good signs. The sign is basically that there is triumph, there's victory, there's something happening that people are paying attention to you. Maybe they're listening to you, but that's what this is about. And then the Wheel of Fortune is, you can have pretty much almost anything. Sort of like, have you ever watched Wheel of Fortune? Basically anything, right? Okay, so let's see what we got entailed to that. So this is starting out with good news. So that is really good. That is really, really good. What do I have pink on there? Okay. So 6 of Pentacles is all about give and take, about sharing, about, you know, balance in that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. That's my daughter. Okay. Sorry about that. So give and take. Somebody, maybe there's, well, we know there's 2 people in here. So there's something good is going on between these 2 people. So, and maybe they're sharing something. So this could be something going on at school. Could be, what I'm hearing is more like a partnership of some kind, that a sharing of a partnership or a project, or, I'm an entrepreneur, so it sort of feels like an entrepreneur kind of thing. Maybe you're starting something, you're listening to each other, there is a good balance there, or maybe there isn't. And so maybe this is, the 6 of Pentacles is saying that we need to have that balance in order to make sure that everything goes smoothly, because we are actually got a good Wheel of Fortune here. So this is actually starting out good. I'm just feeling like the energies are more positive. It has to do with, I think, a work or school type relationship or partnership. Maybe somebody is giving you advice, or you're giving somebody advice and they're listening, like in a mentorship. When I had my first business, I had mentors, and being a leathersmith, and doing from saddle work all the way down to, I don't know, leather work of anything. I mean, I could make a little bag or whatever, but most of my mentors were saddlesmiths from, you know, now unfortunately they're passed on and the trade is dying, but they're the ones like would create all the Western saddles for Disney and all that kind of stuff. In fact, one of them created, if you watched, well, I don't know how old you guys are out there, but the new Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp, and it wasn't a good movie, but they actually created the saddles for that movie. Yeah, so I was really proud of him for that, and proud to be his student. So, but we have mentors. We all need a mentor of some type, whether it be our boss, whether it be anything like that. Yes, you are, but they won't be answered until the end of the reading. So when we get done with the reading, you're very welcome to ask. You might want to hold the question until maybe the center of the reading, only because if people come on, I'll lose the question. So, so yeah, so it's really important that we have mentors, and even our bosses or teachers or whatever are mentors. So we've got a couple of cards coming out here that, so the first one is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is actually moving forward, thinking ahead, but he's more of a creative kind of person. So there's somebody that is in this that is creative, which, you know, when we sit there and listen, you know, music is very creative. So having something creative in the background. Now, there is something that's sort of hidden, or maybe the information isn't fully there. So we need to find out what that is. So whatever it is in this scenario, or your scenario, whatever that is, make sure that, I think the part that's missing is because somebody is not listening, that well, so, or maybe they're not catching it, because when you're listening, the thing about active listening is when you listen to somebody, you have to understand that their perspective is not your perspective. So the reason they need to speak it out is basically because something's being misunderstood, or maybe something needs to be needs to be understood. So you have to sit back. The listener has to sit back and say, okay, I understand what they're saying. I don't agree with it. And then ask yourself why you don't agree, because that's your perspective. They're on a whole different journey, and they're Their journey is not yours. It's their journey. Their history is not your history. Their background is not your background. And sometimes their gender is not your gender. So, and that's a whole different communication thing. So I'm feeling that this sort of hidden is just either a miscommunication or not quite understanding this other person, because this is all a very light reading. This is an awesome, awesome reading. But we all do need to hone in on our listening skills, don't we? Because that would create a lot less turmoil, a lot less misunderstanding. Are you, and you know, I keep hearing, so I want to ask, are you one of the people out there that sit there and listen, but then you start thinking about something and then you interject that before the other person finishes? A lot of people do that. So they really are just passionate about whatever they're talking about, but then they don't let the person finish. And then they finish it for them. And then you find out that that's not what they really wanted to say in the first place. I'm one of those. I used to be one of those. Okay. And I still have a bad habit. I'll follow. One of my friends checks me every now and then, which is fine. Woo! Wow. This is amazing. Look at this. Now, I can't do this. This is not me. I can't do this. You've got the Queen and the King of Pentacles pulled out side by side. Side by side. That is amazing. So whatever you're moving towards to actually has the confidence, has the authority to do that. Oh, I'm getting chills. That has the authority to do that. It has the spiritual backing to do that. It has the earthly backing to do it. And it has everything that is coming together. Oh, I have got goosebumps. Somebody is getting ready for their rewards, their harvest, their blessing, however you want to call it. I am so excited for somebody who is a Scorpio. Now, the other person doesn't have to be a Scorpio that you're dealing with. It could be actually somebody who, you know, could be even the same gender, could be whatever project you're working with this person. Go for it. This is, wow. That King and Queen together just blew me away. So everything, it's something creative. Well, and it would make sense because, you know, we start out creatively with the music and everything else. We already start out with a victory, which means go. If you haven't started it, and even if it's just a seed, go. Do it. Do it. Do it. But you got to remember, if you're working with a partner or working with somebody else, be sure to check yourself. Both of you check yourself. I've been in business a long time. I've owned my own company for a long time and seen too many partnerships fall because they don't stay on the same page. One gets greedy and the other one doesn't. Make sure that you're staying in balance. You're on the same page. You have to check yourself weekly. You have to check yourself monthly. Make sure that you're on the same page throughout the whole process. Because here's the thing, the creative mind, the creative one with the ideas, there's a creative one and there's a logical one. Let the logical one do the best that they can with what they can. You know, the strengths that they're there. Most logical people are good at analytics. They're good at reports. They're good at, you know, and it doesn't matter if this is work or school. It could be school. Somebody in your group or somebody you're working with, let those creative juices flow for the one that is, and let the logical flow for the one that's logical, because this definitely is a match. This is a good match. Oh, I got goosebumps. I love when I get goosebumps because that tells me I'm on track. This is a good match. Now, This could be a marriage too. It could be much marriage, coming into a marriage, getting married. It could be you finally got married. It's done. You did good. Everybody watched, cheered you, congratulated you. Now you're really headed out to the honeymoon in that first year, the honeymoon year. And, you're trying to stay balanced and all this kind of stuff. And it is a good marriage. It's a good marriage. So if that's the case, just got to listen. Make sure those listening ears and those active ears are on. Divine wanted me to make sure that I related it to somebody's relationship as well. Because sometimes I forget about the love thing. All right. So let's clarify any of this. Divine, wow. I don't know how to clarify any of this other than what more you would like to share with this, because this is phenomenal reading, fast reading. Now, for those of you that are brand new to me, like I said, I'm intuitive. So the divine gives me sometimes what I need, piece by piece by piece. He really makes me work, but then sometimes he'll give me 2-3 cards and it's right there. So it all just depends on how he works, not how I work. Oh, thank you. I lived in Japan for many years. All right. Let's see if there's any clarification. This might be a shorter reading for you guys, Scorpio. Wow. This is good though. This is good. Is there anything else, Divine, that you want to share with me? Is there anything anybody else wants to come through with? Anything for the Scorpios for this week? Oh, thank you. Enjoy it. I just heard enjoy it. Enjoy it. Oof, goosebumps. Oh, I love it. I don't know. He's been awakening more and more and more for me. So, today and yesterday, I'm just like, wow, yeah. Yes. This is a time to enjoy. This is a time to enjoy. The star is all about happiness, again, balance and spirit. Make sure that you thank the divine for everything that's going on this next week, because you're going to have a wonderful week. And this is, I don't know who this is, but somebody has actually met their match. Somebody's met their soulmate, their match. This is awesome. This is really great. Is there anything else, Divine, that you'd like to share at this time? This is a shorter reading than most, but I can't get any better than that. I guess the only other thing I would say, if you're having trouble with somebody, maybe step back and see if you're actually listening properly or if they're listening properly. And if they're not, then maybe teach them to say, hey, let's stop, let's regroup, and let's talk about this a little bit more. Let's listen to each other better. Let me finish before you start, and you finish. Let me finish before you start, that kind of thing. That's a huge, a lot of people don't realize, even though it sounds silly, it is a huge, huge, huge communication tool. Huge communication tool. So that's it. Yeah. So whatever that is, and we are always seeking the truth, and be truthful. And as I teach, and I always end with, walk in truth and love. That's what the divine wants us to do. That's how we get closer to the divine. So walk in truth and love. So the Queen of Swords is all about making sure she finds truth, making sure that she's always looking for that truth. She's a confident woman. She is a very independent woman, but she is always, always, always seeking truth. And again, I don't think I can get much better than this reading, but these two go hand in hand. Spirituality and, the truth and the divine in love. This is a phenomenal, it doesn't look that great, but it is. It really, really is. So let me show you this here. So we're going to recap. So the listening, and just remember this listening technique that you either begin to learn and use better, because that's your focus this week, is to learn to listen better or help somebody else to listen better. This is a calm, happy, relaxed state. Maybe there's some good, intelligent conversation going on that you're both coming back and forth and you're listening to each other. Whatever that is, this is a calming, enjoyable time, which actually we started out with the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is all about a victory. And with all these people back here, it means that people are watching you. They're standing out there. They're like, wow, you know, great job. You did it. And I would say, you know, almost say like if this is a marriage. But the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, another thing with the Wheel of Fortune is it's your opportunity to manifest anything that you want. You can manifest this, but you also, too, whoever you're working with here and here and here, is you want to keep that, maintain that balance. If your balance gets completely off, it's going to throw this all off. If one takes more than the other, or fights about, you know, you take more, I take more, whatever, it's going to throw this whole beautiful dynamic off. Remember to keep calm in your listening and your speaking. But somebody creative in here. And this, I believe, is just not enough information, or sharing information, because we just don't know. You know, we're trying to learn about each other, because this is... wow, beautiful marriage. And again, spirituality and truth. We want truth and spiritual love. And that's what this whole beautiful spread is about. Wow. I'm really just amazed that that's probably the best spread I've had in a couple of weeks, to be honest. And it may not look like a lot to you, but the energies that I feel with this, in the light energies I feel with this, you guys can go and have a phenomenal week. If you're going through the stress of COVID, you're going through the stress of no work, going through the stress of going back to school, going through all those stresses, this is a time to just step back and breathe. And like he had said, enjoy. Just enjoy the moment is what he says. Enjoy. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Enjoy now. Enjoy the moment. Don't focus on the future, because we don't know what that's coming. Enjoy the now. So, all right, Scorpio, that is your reading. And that's my cue for question and answers. So let me see here. So I have... and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Mistful Ung. Is that correct? Let me see here. So you ask, please may I ask about my career? When will I find a new job? I've been looking for a long time. Oh my goodness, I understand that. There's so many people that are doing that. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I'm included in that. You know, COVID actually took my job as well. But I think we really need to be mindful in spirit. Let me think here. And I'm going to pull a card for you, if that's all right for you. So what I hear is, these are the exact words. Don't shoot the messenger. I know you're tired, but keep going forward. Okay? I know you're tired, but keep going forward. So in that sense, don't give up. The divine knows that you need a job. And I guess what I'm hearing is, are you looking at I'm hearing look outside the box. Do you know what that means? I don't know what kind of jobs you're looking for, but look outside the box. That means whatever you're looking for, you know, say you want to be an engineer, this is what you're looking for, but maybe there is something outside that engineer category that might fit you. So I don't know if the divine has something he's trying to move your path to, because a lot of the times we get stuck. We want to stay in this one job. I've been there. It's like, okay, I know that I should be doing this. Even what I'm doing right now. I've been in the horse industry and I'm thinking, okay, I have to find horse. I got to go horse. This is what I do. This is who I am. In reality, the divine kept trying to take me out of that, but I kept going in that. So I would listen to my head, but not to my heart and what the divine was trying to say. So he's not giving me a date or a time or anything like that. He'll never do that. If you get a psychic that tells you that, that's not a true person. A psychic cannot give you a date and a time. That's not the way the divine works, because it's free will. So the way that you actually are looking for a job, I'm feeling that you need to look at all the other avenues around exactly what you're looking at. I don't know if that makes sense. But what I'm seeing is that you're focused here, and what he's showing me is you're focused here. Don't forget to look out here, is what he said. Yeah. So are you in law? And that's, yeah, exactly. That's what he means. He means stay within your category of what it is, but there's a need in some little other area that he's calling you to. So listen to your heart. I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of law. I have a criminal justice degree, so I understand about law. But for me, mine was fraud and scam. Yeah, so mine was fraud and scam, right? So I found out that I was focused in on one type of scam, financial scams. Yeah, okay, finance law. See, I was focused in on financial scams, but what the divine was showing me is he wanted me to help people in romance scams, dating scams, K-1 visa scams. So I actually went out. I actually have a website that helps people all over the world, and it's free to be able to know if you're being scammed or not. So yes, you're in finance law, so there's probably something in finance that there is, that I don't know finance law, so you probably want to go into something in that category, but just make sure that you're not just looking at one thing, because he's trying, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to show him. So I don't know what that is. So he's trying to do that. So there's something in your heart. So when you see it, you'll know it. When you see it, you'll know it. But it's in your heart. Listen to that little voice or that little intuition, because he's trying to show you that. I don't know what that is. I'm getting goosebumps, so I know that I'm right. Okay? I don't know if he'll show me a card because he just shared all that with me, but yeah. And it might take travel. Sorry, it might be travel. So it might, and you know, the thing is, this could be travel, but it also could be something coming to you or something you might have to go to. So again, looking outside the box, you know, maybe it's a good thing, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what country you're in or anything like that. So, I mean, that actually is, could be part of it too. Okay, well, I'm glad that makes sense. So I hope that helps. And I hope, I would love to hear if you get a job in what you get a job in. Please make a comment. Say, hey, you remember me? We talked about finance. I love to hear from my people that watch me. And if you haven't subscribed, and if you subscribe and hit that little bell, you'll get notifications when I am on. Because I can't, people are asking me, can you go and, you know, give us a schedule of what's, you know, when you're going to be live and what. I can't, because the divine is the one that chooses the signs for that day. So, but you would know if anybody's listening, if you subscribe and hit the bell, then you'll get notifications when I'm on a live alert. And I love doing this. And I'm probably going to do a collective here either tomorrow or what is tomorrow? Friday, Saturday, another live collective. Probably for the weekend, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. So, So Miss Full, I hope that was helpful. That's not me. Please don't shoot the messenger if it's not what you wanted to hear. And I will say, if anybody is listening, if we do get into the Q&A, please be prepared. This is not me. This is the divine. And I do speak the truth. And sometimes the truth is hard, but it's for your good and also for your growth. So that's how I do my readings. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Full, for your question. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you again next week. Or if you come tomorrow, come to the collective. I don't know what time it's going to be, but it will probably be, I'm going to say, you know what? No, I'm going to make it at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to do it at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'll do the collective for the weekend. All right. So we'll see you then. And hopefully bring a friend. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot.